As a mother that this happened to, do you feel like you were criminally victimized?
Well, yes, I do feel like we were criminally victimized. I went into this situation thinking my husband was the father of Julie, and then to find out 37 years later that the doctor was really my daughter's father, it really hurt all of us.
Right. And Julie, how has this affected you when you learned about it, and how did you learn about it?
I found out in October of 2016 after watching a news program. My parents had always told me who their fertility doctor was, and after I saw it on the news, I just had this gut feeling that I was a part of this. I had reached out to Jacoba and asked her some questions. She didn't really think at that time maybe I could have been a part of this because I was always supposed to have been from my father, but suggested I take a DNA test, and if it was positive, her name would show up. And that's exactly what I did.
And there it was.
And there it was. I was number 11.
Right. Wow. Take me through the moment that you looked down that list and saw that name and it confirmed it for you.
I was actually, I'm a nurse, and I was at work. And I got the notification on my phone through an email that my results are in. Not thinking anything about it, I just pulled it up on the computer at work. And I saw all these names as half siblings, and I thought, wow. And then it crossed my mind that I have an adopted brother, and I shouldn't have any siblings DNA related to me. So at that moment, I completely lost my identity and who I've always known myself to be.
So Diana, what was your reaction to this?
Well, when my daughter called me at work and explained to me that her DNA had come back saying she was the daughter of Dr. Klein, we both cried on the phone. And then right after that, I immediately thought, okay, how am I going to tell her dad? And it took me about a week to kind of get my thoughts straight as to how I was going to tell him. And so one night we were sitting in the living room of our home, and I kind of casually said, you know, the story that was on the news the other night, and I was telling you about it, that Dr. Klein had used his own sperm to impregnate us mothers. Well, I said, Julie is one of his children. And my husband turned to me and he said, this has taken everything away from me. It was really bad. And we kind of just sat there for a while, and he said this, you know, he was afraid that well, for one thing, Julie would feel differently about him. He also felt like our grandkids would feel differently about him. But I tried to assure him that Julie was always going to be his daughter, and his grandkids was always going to be his grandkids. To this day, we don't say much about it.